Camera number 118 of 365 is the Olympus OM30. It's a camera that requires batteries to operate, and so let's just go ahead and put those batteries in. There are 5 LR44 batteries required to power the functions of this camera, and I put in that to that cradle and then just simply fold into the camera. We do have a battery test. Now this one isn't always very reliable, so I don't know whether... no, it doesn't want to work for some reason, but the camera does work. Looking at the top plate while we're here, so there's a battery check. We can then set the camera to auto, and the camera becomes an aperture priority camera. Looking through the viewfinder, we have our shutter speeds, and so depending on what aperture we choose, the camera responds by setting the correct shutter speed. And we have our off position. We can go manual, and the way we do that is by adjusting our aperture, and then our shutter speeds are actually around the collar of the lens, and they go from 1/1000th of a second down to 1 second. And again, we get an indication through the viewfinder there. And then we've got the last one is bulb mode. We set our film speeds by lifting the collar and rotating the dial. We also have exposure compensation, and also then a self-timer button, which we have to push towards the camera body, and that sets the self-timer button. The film advance and film counter, and then shutter actuation button, which does have cable release functionality there built in. Turning to the front of the camera, the little dial here marked R, that allows us to disengage the film advance and then allows us to rewind our film. There is no button on the base, but there is provision for a motor wind, and also this little switch allows us to switch off the audible tones that the camera will give us normally. There's a little button here, F4, F2, that's depending on if the lens that we're fitting has F4, F2, then we switch that to that. I don't fully understand what it does, to be honest. Reading through the manual, it's not that clear to me, so if someone wants to enlighten me, please feel free. Okay, that's pretty much all. Just the last one is the flash synchronization. We take our lens off by pushing the buttons on the actual barrel of the lens and twisting. And one of them also acts as a field of or preview button. There we go. Put the lens back on. And that is it. That has been camera number 118 of 365, the Olympus OM30.